Here I go, watch me go. Here I go again, locked intellectual fit. I was working relaxed, minding my business. 7 days a week go by, and it's time to record this. I walk, I said, background music, the CGCG Rain Queen, Rico, Genesis. We bought it and flipped it. Last week was splendid. Now it's time to kick it off with more this topic. But oh no, make sure you watch and favorite our video. Share it on Facebook, especially on Twitter too. LocdN2Lectuals, 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 Lock. Hey y'all, it's Canadian Queen. It's Fiery Fridays, and I'm here with LocdN2Lectuals channel, and our subject is Black History. Well, Black History, for me, it is 365 days a year, so don't get it twisted. Black History is nothing new in my family. I believe that education starts at home, so when you teach your children about American history, it should incorporate everything that makes up American history. And Black history, unfortunately, has been ignored, or suppressed, or rewritten, or disappeared or forgotten. And so Black History Month is a big deal for America because racism still exists, prejudices still exist, and it's a big deal. So I just want y'all to say I'm excited to be here for you guys on Friday. Please, 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 please thumbs up this video. What I want to talk about today is about Abraham Lincoln and the Emancipation Proclamation. Let's think about the time when Abraham Lincoln came into office. He came into office in the 1860s. The states, the time it was on the brink of civil war. And the United States did not exist the way we think that the United States of America existed. It was 13 individual states that did not form the United States of America. When we gained our independence from England, King George III wrote down each individual state. He didn't write down the United States of America because the government didn't exist as it did today. So when Lincoln inherited and accepted the office of President of the United States, it wasn't even the United States, it was President of the states. So the southern states no longer wanted to be part of it. State government was big. States ran themselves. They didn't, they weren't linked to nobody else. They had their own agenda, they had their own laws, and they were different from each other. South Carolina was the first state to succeed, and then eventually, 7 to 10 more states succeeded. So when Lincoln did the Emancipation Proclamation in January 1st, 1863, it was to end slavery in the rebellious states, the states that had left the nation. So all of the other states, all the other states that were still with the Union, because it's not a nation yet, with the Union, slavery still existed. It was a wartime strategy because Lincoln's main goal was to keep the states together to form a government. So when he looked at how to keep these states together, that was his main goal. It wasn't to abolish slavery. So as he was trying to figure out different ways to do it, he was like, we're gonna go to war. And war was evident. Lincoln was part of the Republican Party, and the Republican Party was about making a stronger government at the time. They wanted the government to be together. So as Lincoln reviewed the documents, independence documents, succeeding all men are created equal, he was having conflicting issues at the time. Think about it. Lincoln grew up in the institution of slavery. He had his own prejudices about slavery. He was like, well, should we consider the black man a man? Is he a man? Is he inferior? And at the time, I believe Lincoln really believed that the black man was inferior. He was like, I can't figure out ways that we could coexist together and the white man and black man live together. He said, is slavery is built on, in some of his debates, he said, if slavery is built on, is it only just skin tone, or he said, is it the intellect of the race? He said, because if the white man's A and the black man is B, if the black man gains more education, becomes more smart, wouldn't he be able to enslave the white man? And these are just different debates and different ponderings that you can find throughout history of Lincoln. Lincoln was like going back and forth on this idea of slavery, and even in his debates. with Douglas, he was like, maybe, you know, as we become a union, we can get rid of black people. They can not like kill them or anything. He said ship them back to Africa, go to Haiti, any country but the United States, because in my mind I can't fathom the idea of a world, of a country where white and black people existed together. I didn't grow up that way. So I thought it was pretty interesting to see these ramblings because, you know, I never looked at Lincoln as, oh, that's all he wanted to do was free the slaves. That's all he wanted to do. No, he wanted to keep the nation together. But he still recognized, you know, eventually as he grew in his humanity, that the black man deserved to be free. I mean, it took a long time for him to figure that out. So the Emancipation Proclamation, January 1st, 1863, abolished slavery in the rebellious states. So just think about it. The rest of the states still had slavery. Slavery was still a thing, and it wasn't outlawed. It still wasn't. It was a temporary thing during wartime. And so what happened was when all the, you know, the Union and we won, you know, we were winning the war, as we conquered the southern states, Lincoln and, you know, and all of the wartime generals were like, okay, we can get the black folks to help us liberate themselves. So black people were very, very evident, you know, they were very there when it came to freeing themselves. And so, I mean, over 150,000 black men enlisted into the war, and then that doesn't include what the women did. So the black man was very pivotal in freeing his own self and liberating his own self. And then we fast forward to 1865, when the government's together, the Union has won the war, and now we have the United States of America. We are beginning a nation. We're beginning a nation, and we did not want to begin this nation with slavery. England, Spain, France, and other countries had by then abolished slavery. And so now we didn't want to begin our nation as a strong federal government, as a constitution, as a people with this institution. Lincoln wanted the institution of slavery to die out on its own, but when he realized that it wasn't going to die out on its own and that the Emancipation Proclamation was going to be viewed as temporary, he's like, the 13th Amendment has to be passed so that way slavery could be ended in the United States. By then his ideals on slavery have grown, and he's like, we cannot do this. It cannot work. So the 13th Amendment officially ruled out the enslavement of any people except if they have been imprisoned, involuntary work or anything. It had officially abolished slavery, and that is exactly how it went down. I encourage you all to read the debates that Lincoln went through. You know, he really was not an advocate of abolishing slavery. That was not the first thing on his agenda. He was very prejudiced. He was very, what people may call racist. But, you know, at the same time, he was progressive during his time, and he got the job done. And for that, that's why Lincoln will always be linked to freeing the slaves. We have the Emancipation Proclamation and the 13th Amendment. This is Canadian Queen. I encourage your your comments, but if you want to compliment me on this, it's great too. I encourage your comments. I encourage you to subscribe to LocdN2Lectuals, and you all have a great Friday and a great weekend. Looking forward to seeing Rico or whoever, and Genesis, and then I also appreciated Rain, and also Petrie and QG Don, and Greg Brown. I haven't seen your video yet. I was up all night almost. So, holla at you guys. Have a good day. Bye.